All right, what's going on, friends? In this video, I'm going to be talking about my engine that seized up in my 2022 Tundra. And I'm going to give you guys out there, some of you guys that might go through this, I'm going to try to give you a few little tips and things that happened to me and things that maybe will make it go a little bit smoother for you if this does happen to you. I really hope this doesn't happen, because first off, I want to let you guys know I still really do like this Tundra. This thing runs awesome when it's running, and it's really fun to drive. The twin turbo is fast, much faster than my 07 that I used to have. This is my third Toyota truck that I've owned. I did have a Tacoma, then I bought a 07 Tundra, had that for close to 16 years, and that thing never let me down. So I'm willing to give Toyota another chance. So if something big like this happens again, I probably will just get rid of this truck, and then I'll just go backwards and buy one more, maybe used Tundra, but the older body style with the V8 in it. Now I'm going to have some pictures of what happened to my truck and a small little video clip if you guys want to watch that. I'll put a picture of this here on the screen. This is just supposedly all the parts that they replaced. Yeah, I finally got my engine put back in, and it seems to be running good. I have no clue how they can rip this engine out. You'll see in the video that there's lots and lots of parts and hoses and bolts and nuts. It's crazy. It seems like they got it all put back in correctly. I was definitely worried about that. Now you'll see in the video, you might hear him, he does say he's done this 3 times, but the other 2 were for oil leaks, and they'll show you in that video where this engine was leaking oil and they had to rip the engine out just to fix that also. I don't know if Toyota found another way to fix that, but where I took mine, that's what they did. All right, one question I do see out there when this happens, and I'm watching like the Toyota forum pages, is people are asking if there was a warning. There definitely was not no warning that my engine was going to seize up. And the bearing, it's the bearing. I don't know if you guys have seen that out there yet, but these bearings I think are just, I'm not a mechanic, so I may say some stuff wrong, but I think like the bearing spins and then the bearing can't get lubricated, and when it can't get lubricated, it just heats up and it ends up welding itself right on the camshaft. Now you'll see pictures of that here in this video. And I do have a video on how I installed this subwoofer if you guys want to know. All right, so luckily I was only down for about a month, and I think it's only because of the dealership I was at. One good thing that they did do, the manager there, one of their top managers, I think he's like one below the top manager, he said he called around to all different Toyota dealers to try to get all the parts for this truck. I think that's definitely one thing big Toyota or corporate Toyota, I think, whatever you guys want to call it, whatever you guys want to call them, corporate Toyota could do is put together a kit engine for this, or whatever, a box, whatever you guys call that. You could just take the engine out, put a whole new engine in, instead of having to rip this thing. Well, I know they had to rip it apart, but that way they could just throw another engine in. But they rip it all apart, see what your problem is, and I'm sure they already know what all these problems are. They could just take the engine out, put a whole new engine in. You think big Toyota could do that? So the dealership I was at, I don't want to say the dealership's name because I don't know if I can in this video, but they really took care of me. Like I said, that manager called around, got all the parts. The only thing I think they could have done better is maybe let me know a little more often what was going on with my truck. It wasn't like it was in there for a half an hour recall. So my truck broke down January 31st and it got done February 27th. So it was only about a month. It seemed like it took corporate Toyota, took them, well, I wrote down here in my notes, it took corporate big Toyota like 12 days till they finally approved fixing my truck, which I think is a little crazy. Another tip I can give you if this does happen to you, ask to get another Toyota like as your rental car or your rental truck if you want, unless you just want to drive around in a car. Like they first gave me a Toyota Tacoma and I told them I didn't think that was too very fair, that I had a nice full-size Tundra, and then they gave me a full-size Tundra to use as my rental for the month. And another question I do see people out there asking is how often we are changing our oil. Well, I've only drove this truck a little bit over 5,000 miles, and I changed my oil at 5,000 miles. I'm not doing this 10,000 mile oil change. I think that's crazy, especially since that oil is supposed to be going in there and lubricating like my turbos and lubricating these bearings. But that didn't help my truck from breaking down, but I still recommend changing your oil every 5,000 miles. I do have a video also on changing your oil if you guys want to watch that. and a video on these mud flaps. These are rock block mud flaps, the nicest mud flaps I could find out there. So if you want to watch that video. Also, I do not have no tuner on this thing. Some people think that these guys that are putting tuners on their trucks are the ones that are wrecking their engines. And I don't know, maybe that is probably not so good for this engine because it does give it more horsepower and torque, but I didn't have no tuner and it still happened to me. Right on my driver's side door, if you open that door, there's a white sticker, and I think this date right up here in the corner is the build date. So people are asking that also, but I've seen, it seems like if you look, there is a list going around of different trucks. I think there's only 50 some on there. They're probably missing a lot because for the longest time, my truck wasn't even on that list. I just put it on there the other day, but I think this is the build date. Mine is 3/22. I don't know if that means anything. So, because it looks like there's a lot of other build dates that this bearing's locked up on people. All right, one question I did have, and it doesn't seem like I'm able to really find the answer out there. Has Toyota fixed this issue? So the bearing and all the parts, like I said, I'll show you this list of parts. The bearing and all the parts they put in my truck, it'd be really nice for us guys that this happened to if they would tell us, yes, 100%. They figured out what was going on with these bearings and all the stuff that they put back on my truck, it's not going to do it again. So if anybody knows that answer out there, put that down in my comments. Let me know that yes, you've heard that Toyota has fixed this issue, and this ain't going to happen again, because that's definitely a pain in the butt when you pay. Well, I bought this used and it cost me what, $53,000, and then your truck breaks down and you can't do nothing. I did have a rental truck, but I was not allowed to let my boy drive it because he has his permit and he's under 21 years of age. I wasn't allowed to have my dogs in that truck. All my stuff that I have is in this truck. It just definitely was a pain in my butt. I tried talking to corporate Toyota to see if they could do anything to make my life a little nicer, to make me a little happier. And pretty much no big corporate Toyota said no. They didn't say it in these words, but to me it was saying no, suck it up, take your warranty, we're gonna fix your truck and you're good to go. And I thought that was crazy. Like I said, if it was a one-day fix, I'd been okay. But if your truck's in the shop for a month, 2 months, 3 months, you'd think corporate Toyota would help you out a little bit. Maybe pay one of your payments or something. I've had some problems with corporate Toyota in the past too, with some rust on my last truck, on the bed of my truck, totally 100% rusted out, and they didn't help me with that either. They told me my wife should have took care of it while I was on my deployment for the military, and she was pregnant at the time. Probably lucky that I really like these Toyotas and they seem to run good, so I hope this truck runs another 150,000 miles and I have no problems. Well, all right, well, here you go. You can watch this short little clip of some pictures in the video.
This is how much you gotta take apart just to get them out, so
Yeah,
that's get pretty insane.
There's my engine, my 2022 Tundra. Holy crap, that's, how are you gonna remember to put all this back together?
I've done 2 other ones already, so.
Yeah, I know. It just, that would scare me. Holy moly. I was wondering if you were gonna take the whole whole thing off. Jeez.
Some people do, but with how I've done 2 of them already, it's easier just for me to do it this way.
That's crazy. So now once you get this apart, we gotta order parts or order that whole chunk, or?
I gotta take it apart and see exactly what failed, because Toyota won't let me do a whole entire long block. So most likely we're gonna end up doing a short block and maybe heads. I don't know yet. I gotta find that out when we have it all torn down. But right now it's just locked up. You can't even move it a centimeter.
Wow, so when I was driving, when it said it was done, it was done. Yeah. It locked up, and you care if you're on this video?
No, I don't think.
Because I might put it on YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
wow, that's nuts.
Either way.
Is that a safety mechanism?
No.
No, that ain't a safety mechanism.
It's just the engine locked up.
Oh.
So I'm just...
Well, I just didn't know. I know some things
there.
will, I didn't know if it was something with, like the computer sent something and just like shut it down.
No, it will for some stuff, but this one here, something's locked up inside of it. I don't have it all torn down yet to find out. But I mean, I still got to rip the whole front end off, and then I'll take the oil pan off and actually see what's seized in there.
Back in the day, like like engines. This is like,
But yeah, these ones have a lot more parts on them. You actually have 2 timing covers on them too. It's not just one. So you got your front cover, and then you got your timing, and then behind that's another cover.
So
Just before, you got to take all that off before you can even get the heads off of it.
So thank goodness it's under warranty, but 25,000 miles. That's crazy that, yeah.
have you run into that before with these?
No, this is the first one we've got that's been locked up. The other 2 that I've done were for oil leaks. They were leaking from a freeze plug in the back of the head, or the back of the block here. They were leaking. I can actually show you on yours. They were leaking from right here. This little plug. We did 2 of those under warranty. One was 10,000 miles, and the other one was 5,000 miles. And we ended up doing all this and just replacing the short block.
Where's the turbos in this thing? Are they still?
They're off right now.
These, just that little.
Turbos. Yep, that's one of them. The other one I just have sitting in the engine bay. But yep.
So what do they call the turbo? Like just that little piece there?
This here is your turbo, and this is your exhaust side. You have 2. You technically have 2 turbines in there, and then these ones actually have actuators that control it a little bit better. But
Okay, that's crazy. Hopefully I'm not bothering you. I'll probably stop by maybe a couple times, but now you're kind of tear it apart more and just see what's wrong and then order more parts. And
yeah, we already contacted Toyota and everything. It's a high dollar repair, so they all know about that. So we got to see exactly what's failed, and we got to order parts and see when this stuff can be even coming in. Because some of the stuff they make to order with these, just because they're so new.
What's this part laying there?
What's that?
What's that right there?
That's your torque converter.
Oh, okay.
I had to actually rip it out with it still attached because it was all locked up. So I had to. So I mean, you don't have it in your transmission there, because I had to take it out with it. So we'll be replacing the seal on there too, because of having to rip it out like that.
So it's going to be better than new.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be all.
Put your skills
I'll
to the
take it
test.
apart. Yeah.
Hope they're paying you good by the hour.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. No, this is my 3rd one I've done like this.
So
Not too bad. They're getting a little bit easier.
that, wow, that's. All right, well, thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope some of you guys maybe learned something out there, or you can put something down in the comments to help somebody else out there, or just put down in the comments where you guys live. It's really interesting to see where some of these people are from that watch some of my videos. If you want to help support my channel, I have a few other videos on here of this truck, and I have a lot of other videos on all kinds of other things right here at my house. I have I think over 300 videos. So thank you very much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below and hit that subscribe button to help support my channel. God bless, and I hope your truck keeps running good.